So we're now taking a look at my iPhone. You can see that it's a typical iPhone with lots of apps, and if we look in the lower right hand corner, you can see a little WorkFlex icon. So I'm going to click on that, and the first thing you'll see is a monthly view of my schedule. So for those 66% of agents that can't view their schedule when they're not at work, you can see just how easy it is with the WorkFlex mobile app. In the monthly view, the days I'm scheduled to work show up as dark gray, and days that I'm not scheduled to work show up as light gray. I can select a day, such as today, and just scroll down to see the detailed view of my schedule for today, or I can select the weekly view to see an overview of my work hours for the entire week. But Schedule Change Empowerment is all about adjusting my work hours, so I'm going to open up the menu and see that I have a number of Adjust Schedule options available to me. I can change my work hours, I can trade my schedule with another agent, I can change my work activity, or I can submit an absence or sick time request. So let's start by taking a look at how I can change my work hours by clicking on that option and taking a look at my schedule for tomorrow, February 3rd. You can see that the left-hand side of the screen is either light gray, meaning that I'm not scheduled to work during these hours, or dark gray, indicating that I am scheduled to work. Now if I go to the start of my shift, you can see that just before my shift starts at 10 a.m., that there are three 30-minute time slots from 8:30 to 10 in the morning that show time on available in green on the right-hand side of the screen. This is indicating that I have pre-approved extra hours available then if I want to choose them. The reason those green time slots are lit up is because we projected significant understaffing for those time intervals in service queues that match my skills, and that other agent screening criteria has also been met, such as my proficiency, the number of hours I'm already scheduled to work this week, and maybe the number of hours I've worked in the last day. If I want to grab an extra hour just before my shift starts, all I have to do is swipe my finger from right to left for the 2 half-hour time slots, click on Adjust Schedule, and it's done. I get a confirmation that my request has been submitted. I see a status indicator on the screen that says my schedule is in the process of being updated in the WFM system, and as soon as this update has been completed, I'll get a message back confirming that my schedule has been changed. I can take a similar approach to take time off. If I scroll down to the end of my shift, I can see that there's time off available then. If I want to leave an hour earlier, I simply swipe my finger on the slots I'm interested in. But because this is a time off request, I'll also need to indicate whether I want to take this as paid or unpaid time off. I can see that I have 30 hours of PTO available, so when I make my request, I think I'll just take this as vacation time. But before I do that, you can see that I just received a confirmation message that the extra hours I selected in the morning are now officially part of my schedule. So I'm going to grab an hour of time off at the end of my schedule, select the vacation option, and again I get a confirmation message that my change has been submitted and that the change is in the process of being updated in the WFM system. If I want to take another hour off at the end of my shift tomorrow, you can see that there's more time off available, but there's also a swap request option, meaning that if I want to, I can take more time off on the 3rd and make it up at another time. So let's do that. I'll select the 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock time slots, but instead of selecting time off by swiping right to left, I'm going to select Request Swap by swiping left to right. I'll now click on Continue Swap to find a time where I want to make up the hour. When I scroll to the 4th, I can see that there is time available just before my shift starts that day, so I'll select the hour from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, click on Complete Swap, and I'm done. By using Swap, I not only help myself, but help the company twice by taking an hour off my schedule when I wasn't needed and adding an hour back into my schedule when I was needed. I can also see that my vacation request for the 3rd has just been confirmed. The final thing I wanted to show you was change activity, something you may recall from the survey that only 1 in 20 companies offer their agents. So with all this talking I've been doing, I think my voice might be getting a little tired, so I'm going to go see if I can find some time to get off the phones and maybe do a little bit of email work instead. To do that, I'm going to go back to the Schedule Change Request menu and select Change Work Activity. I'll choose the option Email since that's a skill I'm certified for, and if I look around, I can see that on the 4th there is some time near the end of my shift that I can get off the phone and do some email work instead. The reason that time is showing available then is because between 5 and 7 o'clock on the 4th, we're projecting overstaffing on the voice service queue and understaffing on the email service queue. So I'll grab 5:30 to 7 o'clock, and while I'm doing that, I can see that my earlier swap request has already been confirmed. The last thing I want to show you, just before I pass the baton back to Sherry, is my calendar for February 3rd, where I can easily confirm all the schedule adjustments I made that day. I can see the extended hours at the start of my shift, the vacation time I took at the end of my shift, and also the unpaid time between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock that I swapped out for the extra time on the 4th. Again, it's just that easy.